Hey guys, Sarah here, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the basics of highlighting and contouring. I am going to show you a demo of me contouring and highlighting my face with both cream and powder. So if you're interested in that, then keep watching. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe before you leave so you don't miss any of my future videos. I post new content all the time. And I'm doing a beginner's guide to makeup series right now, so you don't want to miss out on that, so definitely subscribe down below. Before I get into this, I just want to preface it and say that everyone's face is different. We all have our problem areas and things that we would like to change, so take this as a general guideline. It's not necessarily exactly what you should be doing with your face, depending on, your bone structure and all of that. And all of the products that I mentioned, I will list down below in the bottom bar in case you're interested in them. So let's get into it. I'm gonna start out doing cream, contour, and highlighting, and then I'll jump in and do powder, contouring, and highlighting. Can't say that. All right, let's get started. I look a little bit crazy right now because I only have foundation on. I haven't set it, I haven't done anything else to my face. One of the biggest rules of thumb is to not put liquids or creams over your powders. So I just have my foundation on. I'm going to show you guys a couple of different options as far as contouring and highlighting. So first we're going to do the creams and then I'll go ahead and apply the powders to my face. Generally speaking, I either do creams or powders. I generally don't do both, but for the sake of today's video, I'm going to do both just to kind of show you how. The whole point of highlighting and contouring your face is to kind of make it look a little bit more chiseled and dimensional. So you want to highlight places, which I'm not going to do just like the lighter color highlight. For instance, I have this contouring and highlighting stick, and there's this shade that you can actually do highlighting like that. I'm only gonna do like the shimmery highlight that you do on the top of your cheekbones. I'm not gonna do actual highlighting. So I'm just gonna do contouring and then the shimmery highlight. So the whole point is to contour the places that you want to bring in. So if you want your cheekbones to look more defined, you put a contour right there so it creates a shadow. Same thing with your forehead. It'll make your forehead look smaller, or your jawline more defined, or your nose thinner. So wherever you're gonna put contour, it's gonna make that portion of your face look smaller and more chiseled. I'm going to start out using this. It is from Wet n Wild. It is the Mega Glow dual-ended contour stick. I have never used the highlighting side. I've only used the contour side. This is super affordable. So I am going to just show you how I contour. It's going to be different for everyone depending on your face. I have no issue with the size of my nose, so I never contour my nose. So I'm just going to put this right in the hollows of my cheekbones. So just a little line like that. You don't want to go too far in because you are going to blend this out. And then same thing on the other side. And then I will do a couple of stripes on my forehead, which sometimes I do this, sometimes I don't. I'm just kind of showing you. And then I will go right under my jawline. So you'll see a lot of people contour kind of like the sides of their nose. You can do that. If your forehead is taller, you can do some right here. It's just wherever you want to bring in. So now that I have that, I'm going to blend it out with my EcoTool sponge. So I just have my sponge right here, and I'm just gonna start blending this out. You can also use a brush to blend this out if you're more comfortable using a brush than you are a sponge. You can already see right here that my cheekbones look a little bit more defined than they did. I don't have a lot of cream contour products. The only ones I have are this Wet n Wild, and then I have this Models Co contour stick. I like both of these. I use the Wet n Wild one more, but I do like both of them. As far as cream highlights, I love the Hourglass one. I have the Marc Jacobs highlight. This one is really good to highlight your collarbone and your shoulders as well because it's way bigger. I also really like this Algenist Reveal Concentrated Luminizing Drops. These are really good. And I also really love Benefit What's Up. Today I'm gonna use the Hourglass stick. So again, I'm just going to put this on the high points of my cheekbones. And then I'm just gonna use my finger and take it down the center of my nose. And a little bit on my Cupid's bow. And then I'm going to take my Eco Tool sponge again, and I'll just go on a different part of it so it doesn't have any of the contour on it, and just kind of blend this out. And you can see that the light is reflecting off of that now. When I do cream highlighting and contouring, at this point I would just go on and do the rest of my makeup. I would set my face, put on blush, etc. But I am going to kind of do that right now. I'm going to set my face with powder, which I'm going to use my Coty Airspun powder and my Real Techniques powder brush. So I'm just going to set my face with powder, and then I'm going to show you how to do powder highlighting and contouring. If you apply creams to your face, generally speaking, unless you're really dry, you will want to set them, because if you just have creams, they can kind of slide all over and they won't stay put as well. But if you set your face with powder, you will have longer lasting makeup. All right, now that my face is set, I'm going to show you how I'll do powder highlight. So today I'm gonna use my Tarte Hamptons Weekender contour palette. I'm obsessed with this. I've been using it nonstop. I'm sorry if you're sick of seeing it, but I'm gonna go in with the contour shade, which is Farmer's Market, and my Real Techniques contour brush. And I'm gonna do the exact same thing I did with the cream. So just put it into the hollows of your cheekbones. And one way to feel that is you can actually feel your cheekbone. So this is my actual cheekbone. So right underneath that is where I want to set this, because I want it to be shadow right under my cheekbone. And you can see that I'll blend it out better, but I just want to place the product first. And then I'm going to put it right on the sides of my forehead again. And with your contour, make sure that you don't come too far down. You don't have cheekbones at your mouth, so you want to just do it right here. From basically like the top of your ear is where I do mine. It's going to be different on everyone, so this is not just like an across the board rule, but basically just feel your jaw and your cheekbones and then place it. But for me, it's like top of my ear towards my mouth, but only like a half or a third of the way there. And then again, we'll place it under the jawline. Another trick that you can do is contour right under your bottom lip, just the smallest amount, and it'll look like there's a shadow, making your bottom lip look bigger. I don't do anything with my lips, it's just preference. Again, I mean, everything is what makes you feel beautiful, so do whatever that is. All right, so you can see where my contour is placed, and I'm just gonna blend this out a little bit more. And I'm actually going to grab my bronzer, which I'm using the NARS Laguna, and I'll just take some on this Real Techniques full powder brush and kind of place it the same places that I've been placing it, but this is just gonna warm up the rest of my face and kind of blend that contour in. You don't want to have any harsh lines, especially on your contour, so make sure that you do a really good job of blending it in. And you can always put more product on, but you can't take product off. It's way harder to blend product than it is to just start with a little bit and learn as you go. That's my biggest tip, is start with a little bit of product, blend it out, see what works for you, you know, play around and experiment. When I do powder contouring and highlighting, I usually do contour, blush, and then highlight. So I'm gonna go into that same palette with my Morphe E4 blush brush, and this is the blush in Summer House. And I'm just placing this on the apples of my cheeks and then blending it back. As you can see, you can still see that cream highlighter even though I've put other products on top of it. That's the reason I generally don't do cream and powder highlight. You don't need to. I set that product down, put other product on it, and I'm still getting the effects of it. So yeah, I wouldn't even need to put a powder highlight on. I'm going to just to show you guys, but don't feel like you need to just pile on product. You definitely don't need to. You can choose what works for you and just stick with that. So I'm just gonna go back in with that same palette and my highlighting brush, pick up some of that highlight, and then place it in the exact same area, right at the high points of my cheeks. And then I just take my ring finger and put it down the center of my nose and a little bit on my Cupid's bow. One thing I really like to do just to make everything melt into my skin and just make sure it's really blended is I like to set my face and then blend it back out with that same sponge. I just think that it gives a more airbrushed and flawless look. So I'm just gonna do that really quick. And then taking my sponge and I'll just pounce this onto my skin. And I go over my entire face and then that is it. So that is the final look. As you can see, I'm very glowy, very contoured. I hope this helps you. Definitely play around with it and figure out what the best way for you to contour your face is. It's gonna be different than what I do. You might have different areas that you want to accentuate than I have. So definitely just take this as a general guideline, not necessarily what you should be doing to your skin. I hope that this was helpful for you. If it was, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe before you leave so you don't miss any of my future videos. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye.